Let's welcome Mr. Governor and His Excellency the Prime Minister.
Good afternoon, Mr. Governor, sir, and good afternoon to His Excellency the Prime Minister. Mr. Governor, this afternoon we have the Prime Minister of Grenada, His Excellency Honorable Dickon. They are here to pay courtesy on you, sir. With your permission, I would also like to introduce members of the State Executive Council that are here to also receive them. I'll start from the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Bimbola Salu-Ondei, the Head of Service of Lagos State, Mr. Bodi Aguro, the Deputy Chief of Staff to Mr. Governor, Mr. Sam Igube, the Honorable Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokumbo Wahab, the Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on Tourism, Mr. Idris Aregbe, and of course, Mr. Boyega Akoshile, the Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on Media and Publicity. Mr. Governor, once again, I would also like to say that apart from His Excellency the Prime Minister, we have the Chairman, CEO, Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, seated here. I also like to say that, Mr. Governor, we have the children of His Excellency the Prime Minister, Christian Mitchell is here. And of course, Olivia Mitchell is also here. As part of the entourage, we have Mr. Teddy St. Louis, the advisor to Prime Minister. The executive to the Prime Minister is Akira Lesson. And we also have Tia Tariq. She coordinates part of the entourage of Alhaji Dangote. Mr. Governor, with your permission, I want to say the purpose of the courtesy visit to His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State. Prime Minister, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Governor, members of your cabinet, Mr. Dangote, members of the delegation accompanying me, members of the media who are here. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, it's an absolute honor to have the privilege to pay a courtesy call on you this afternoon. As you're aware, I had the privilege of welcoming you to Grenada when you paid a courtesy call on me last year. We promised then that this would mark the beginning of closer relations between the state of Lagos and the state of Grenada. And so my courtesy visit, quickly following on from your visit last year, is really to pay respect to you, to the state of Lagos, the citizens of Lagos, in recognizing that we do intend to make good on our commitment to foster closer and more direct socio-economic as well as political relations with the state of Lagos and with you and your governorship. So I'm really happy to be here. This is, as I said, merely a courtesy call. We had some discussions earlier as to the various areas of cooperation that we certainly think we need to pursue. We can start with areas of the movement of our people, because I think that's the starting point. If I can't get to Lagos and if you can't get to Grenada, it becomes obviously very difficult for us to pursue that relationship. And so that's one area that I think we certainly want to pursue closer ties, and to do that, we need to ensure that we have the logistics in place to allow for the movement of our peoples to see each other, to hear each other, to exchange and learn from each other. I had the honor of being hosted by your advisor to tourism earlier today. I've already indicated to him we will put him in contact with our director of our Board of Tourism so that we can start exploring how we can be very deliberate and specific about those exchanges. We certainly think that there are significant opportunities for investment from both perspectives, from the perspective of businessmen and women in Lagos, seeing the Caribbean as a hub for further investment in the Caribbean, Central and Latin America. And as we know, there is a significant diaspora in the Caribbean, in North America, in South America, Central America. Sometimes South and Central America is forgotten, but the Caribbean sits between the two. So we also think that there are significant opportunities for there. Our culture, food, fashion, film industry. I think the music has already taken off and has become renowned, and citizens of the diaspora are always eager to hear, see, host, and be entertained by the enormous talent that has come out from Africa over the last decade with Afrobeats. We certainly think there are great opportunities for collaboration between Afrobeat artists and Caribbean artists. And we've already hosted some of those events in Grenada. And we think, again, there's an opportunity for tourism, cultural exchange in those areas. So we certainly will identify other areas that we can cooperate in. I've had the privilege also of spending some time with the best of the best, Mr. Dangote, who's I had the honor of visiting the refinery as well. So I see the tremendous work he's doing in reshaping the economic landscape in Lagos, and I want to commend him for him, and commend you, governorship, for supporting that initiative, because I think it's not just about Lagos or Nigeria or Africa, but really about the black world, about the developing world, and they need to have greater control over our economic direction. So again, thank you for the opportunity of hosting me, and I look forward to our relationship growing stronger and stronger. Thank you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. Mr. Governor, I've also been informed that His Excellency is the chairman as of government of Caribbean countries.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. But I invite Mr. Governor to respond to the remark of His Excellency.
Well, thank you very much. Let me, on behalf of the Lagos team and cabinet members, let me welcome to the State House here in Marina, my very good friend and brother, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Grenada, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, of course, with his lovely kids, with his entourage, and who we call the president of the private sector, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and his team. Let me welcome you to Lagos formally and to Marina. I'm aware that you quietly came in about 2 nights ago. Alhaji, without collecting the keys of the city, brought you in, but you've done the proper thing. Now you can get the real keys to the city. So you're welcome to Lagos. You're welcome to the Center of Excellence, I would say. We're welcome to the state of aquatic splendor. You're welcome to a city-state that is the commercial economic nerve center of our country. You're welcome to a state that has over 22 million population. I imagine you've only just seen a little bit of it, but you're welcome to a city that is the nucleus of our country, because there is no ethnicity, there is no color, there is no diversity that is not in Lagos, And what we also say is that if you've not been to Lagos, you've not been to Nigeria, right? And so you're welcome. We're happy that you've taken out time. You have a very, very busy schedule to visit our country and Lagos in particular. We're excited that you've gone around to 1 or 2 places and you've seen the sheer size and the opportunity that are abound. But more importantly, first is really to commend you and to congratulate you on your leadership, amongst all of the Caribbean nations, to have given you this mantle of leadership right now. We believe that is apt and that you will lead the Caribbean countries very well, and during your time we'll begin to see the African Caribbean relationship also grow and foster. The last time we were together in Bahamas during the AfroExim annual general meeting, and we could see the Afro-Caribbean integration being further explored then, and we're all so convinced that we're closer to ourselves than other parts of the world, Europe or Asia and the rest of it. And we all look alike, quite frankly. We know the history, and the culture, of who we are and how we can take that forward. So we want to, say that, during this time, we believe in your leadership. We believe that you will not only take the Caribbean nations forward, but the Grenadians also will feel, your leadership at this time. We know sometimes it's tough because, earlier in the year, there were all sort of climate issues that affected some of the countries. That is also happening everywhere. Lagos is also not immune to climate changes, so we all need to be as resilient as possible and be able to absorb the shock, and move on. But more importantly, is really for us to see how we can advance relationship between ourselves, our people, in areas, that we've identified. Culture is critical, like you said, and we should advance that conversation. And how do we get our people, across from Africa, from Nigeria into the Caribbean? We have one airline that we're talking to, and let's see how that takes off. It's important for us, even as diasporans, because I know that there's a whole lot of cultural exchange, that we need to begin to push forward and implement. So Alaji, who is leading the private sector in the country, have also taken you around what we see as the biggest refinery in the entire world. The audacity of even backing that, we can only but commend, continue to commend him. and so with that, we see an African partnership. We see a Nigerian growth partnership that we can lend to other parts, of the world. Is a man that we all respect and very courageous, and we continue to, learn, and from him. But on the political side, we are happy, to see how we can further deepen, ties and bilateral, movement, arts, culture, entertainment. These are things that pretty much are common, between our two regions. And let's look at how we can, develop that mineral resources, and just sort of like create an ecosystem, that our people can indeed be very intentional and be deliberate and create, businesses in these two regions. So I want to once again also thank you, for seeing, Lagos as a home. I will continue to expect that, your free time, please do come. We look more alike than some other parts, and thanks for bringing your two lovely kids, and that I'm sure will leave a very strong, lasting, impression, onto them to see, a different world, and out of one of the stories that they've told them that Africa is this and is that, they've seen that indeed development is here and there's real growth. And just to thank other members of your entourage and to say that we're happy, we're grateful with your leadership. We wish you all the very, very best, in your country, in your region, and we believe that, the mantle of leadership that you have now would help galvanize and improve, the Caribbean African relationship, the West African, and Caribbean relationship, more importantly, and we can both create an ecosystem that our people will be happy, will be happy with us, and that's our desire. So once again, thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Wish you all the very, very best, and can be rest assured that you have a brother in us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. We'd like to make presentation to His Excellency the Prime Minister. Photograph Mr. Governor and the Prime Minister first.
Welcome to Nigeria. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Welcome home.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.